printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Tuesday, April 7th. Sorry for the technical difficulty. The technical difficulty was I wasn't here at the command center. Had to step out for a second. We got the panel, the oath of four. We're going to jump right into it today. Fellas, good morning.
Gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, we'll do our normal just because we know that we got possibly new people. Real quick, how long was the ticker just sitting there with the timer? I was curious, like how much.
Not very long, brother. You were on top of it. You were good to go, mate. It was all good.
I had to get my water. And I started hearing my dog bark, so I wanted to get. All right, so we got a great group here with us. The Oath of Four is normal. We're going to do our normal quick introductions. Fluid Pour, why don't you start? Where are you from, or why are you here, more importantly? And I mean on the panel or here on YouTube, a presence.
My presence, yes. My name is Fluid Pour, art by Greg, and I'm here to just let everybody know that there is a real mission going on, man, to save our nation, to turn us back to the Constitution the way it was supposed to be, not what we thought was the norm. And I think we're witnessing a lot of the stuff going down, the proofs from the president, Q. This is a mission to save our kids, to save our nation, to save the world. And sitting by not saying anything is kind of enabling, I think. So we just kind of try to get that proof out there, get that truth out there, and go with it.
All right. We appreciate you being here, brother. Ben, what's your story?
Prior Army, veteran. Of course, we're all veterans here, which makes this panel even that much more fantastic and awesome. I was part of Operation OIF, worked a little bit in the medical field. Met Mike 07, 08 in school doing computer security, that kind of stuff. Instantly clicked. We're both into thinking outside the box and not believing what we were told, and that's led us to here today, meeting woodmen at our local Legion, hanging out with other veterans, doing awesome things. Met Fluid Pour through Mike's channel that he's created here. The team of people we have here are just great, honorable patriots that do a wonderful thing, and we're constantly talking. Like Mike and I's garage talk has expanded much more now that our team has gotten a little bit larger, and we're just here to go dig out the truth and present it to you as we see it. You connect the dots for yourself. Don't take what we say as gospel truth. Take what you hear. If you don't believe it, please research it. Never ever parrot what the mainstream or somebody else says until you've done the research for yourself to believe what you're saying, not just a bunch of empty words.
Hell yeah. See, folks, that's our whole point. Woodman, how you doing today, brother?
Looking good,
Doing
by
really
the way.
good. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. I guess I should have been wearing a hat. I'm the real old guy on the.
You got an interview or something somewhere, I'm assuming, after this, right?
Yeah, right. I'm the old guy on the group here. I really feel blessed that they even allow me to be part of this mission because, like I say, I'm really old compared to these guys here. They're a whole lot more knowledgeable about this technology and so forth, and where to dig and how to dig. It takes me a lot longer to do the same thing, but I get it done eventually. We all have military backgrounds. I have did Blue Room Guard and DTALK, and can't tell you any more than that. But anyway, I jumped out of airplanes. I was a paratrooper. Had a great time with that. Really happy to serve my country, but more so happy and blessed to be on this panel with these fantastic patriots. Listen up, and it's popcorn time.
Nice.
Ooh, with the flavoring.
Somebody loves your beard, by the way. They said, "What a great."
Oh, great!
Beard.
I'm not going to give it to you. I'm keeping it.
All right, let me see here. Is that one?
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Welcome to the Oath.
No, it's great, man, to have all you guys out here with us today. All the mods holding it down. You guys are awesome. Before we get today started, man, just a quick shout out. We're having a Patriots Fest August 14th and 15th in tandem with our local Legion, the American Legion Post 143, 504 Maple Street, Bristol, Indiana. Come on out, hang out with some Patriots. We'll all be there. Camp out, open to the public for free. There's going to be a flag retirement ceremony. If you've ever seen one of those, amazing, awesome display of real patriotic, really standing up for the Constitution and doing it the constitutionally way to do this. And it's just going to be great. I hope you guys all come out. Email patriotsfest2020@gmail.com to confirm you're free. Let us know who's coming, how you're coming, where you want to stay at, what's going on, and shoot us all your information because we're all going to be there.
All right. And if
yeah.
we typically sometimes have Grillin put all that information out. All right, real quick before we get started here, we're going to be doing some round robin on the panel. But again, I'm Mike. This is the Patriot Hour. We do this Oath of Four. It's something we came up with. I actually credit Fluid Pour for the term or for the idea, and we are doing what we can. Tomorrow, I want you guys, we're going to be doing a test after we get off the live feed today. We're going to be getting the final. I thought today was Wednesday, guys. It's been such a hectic, everyone's stayed at, we're kind of staying at home. Schedules are off. You're not really doing the work thing, and kids are home, so it kind of gets a little muffled. But tomorrow is Wednesday. Look for the 1 hour Patriot. You guys are going to be the ones guiding the episode. Whatever you call in, whatever you want to talk about, we can do. The topic is up to the 2 to 3 minute call. That's what we're going to limit that to, so keep that in mind. But again, I'm Michael here at the Patriot Hour. The reason we're here is to promote freedom, to keep our liberties, to delve into the things and try to inform everybody. Again, like Ben said, don't ever take what we say to be 100% word, fact, truth here. Do your own research, connect all your own dots, and based off all of that, use some logic and then come to your best, what you can do. You have to chew the meat and spit out the bone, folks. All right. So don't ever, the days of being spoon fed, auto truth have to be over. All right, here we are. So I'm going to say Fluid Pour. I want to throw, what do you, you're down in the Florida area. So what do you've been seeing the ramp up. Now Trump has not made it official. They're really pushing. They want him to, they want him to so bad. But what I'm seeing here now is a narrative of they were trying to take this all the way to November. They wanted this to be the thing that affected the voting. They're now starting to push. And even though Trump's might be coming out with the solution, like we were hearing, an actual cure or something, you could take this hydroxycodone. They said it will be back in November or fall. So I'm sure even if it kind of goes away for the summer and we get freedoms back, that there's a plan to possibly they want this to come back. And they want voting to be from home. What are your thoughts on that alone? The pitch of some states now, we can have drop-off ballots, drop-off boxes. And Trump's like, oh, no, that's equals cheating. But anyway, I mean, are you hearing that down in Florida? What are your, the movements and quarantining?
We haven't really, well, yeah, we're in the quarantine for sure. But the voting thing, the only thing I've heard of is that they're trying to do that vote by mail, like you had just said. And that right there is just setting the Democratic Party up to win if they, well, they've got nobody that can beat Trump anyway. So it really doesn't, it's not going to affect the outcome, I don't think. But that's what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to do it any illegal way possible to steal this election, is my take on it.
This is how desperate they've gotten. Ben, do you think that that sounds fishy to you? I mean, you were wanting to get down into your local and actually maybe be at the voting. I remember we talked about that. That's one thing.
Yeah, this was last. When we did the midterms, I was looking at my local voting area where they go vote at. And on a side quick note, I walk in to go. You're supposed to cast your paper ballot, and I'm looking at they're handing pencils to everybody as they're coming in to cast their vote. And I asked them, I was like, and you put your name and all that kind of stuff to verify. And they did verify that kind of stuff. And I was like, why are you using pencils? Shouldn't you use like black ink that's more permanent? That means I'm like, didn't think about that. So I, even in my local area, have been seeing either fraudulent ways of casting ballots using pencil instead of ink, which us military boys, that if it's not on paper, it never happened. And how do you keep it on paper? Black ink, not blue, right? So it's like, I mean, we're seeing this all over. To be able to cast a vote from home or on by mail, all this stuff has lots of rules. There's a reason why people meet at the Capitol and cast their ballots at a certain little place of swath of earth called Washington, D.C. And when you go outside of that, it is constitutionally illegal. I wouldn't say illegal. I wouldn't go that far. If you look into the Constitution, Trump has already confirmed this, that it's not really constitutionally sound to cast ballots for laws, particularly off of the D.C. soil. That still holds a little bit of sway, even though they took it away in 1871. They have to operate within their own little 10 square mile area. And so once these people who now have, quote unquote, the corona and Lyme disease virus, they're going to cast their votes online. There's going to be a whole new voting system. All this does is just reek of manipulation. So if we can go off the impeachment, then after that failed, everything other failed. There's this pandemic of this supposed virus. Like, ooh, you're going to catch it. Like, you don't even know what a flippin' virus is, and they're telling you can catch it from sneezes. It's like, like this is insanity. It's progressive. You know what it's for. It's for the vote.
Yes, I agree. It seems too, and then like the way this crept out, I mean, I always go back to Don Lemon right when Trump got out of the impeachment and it was coming down to the vote, and they delayed the vote by like 4 days. And it was kind of scary. It's like, well, we need to get that vote done on Wednesday to make sure, but they knew that it was going to be stacked, that Trump wasn't going to get impeached, so it came that way. But they're like, no, we don't know what's going to happen next. Watch TV. I mean, boom, the virus is there. Early on, they were pressing it, but so they're saying it'll be back. It's almost like if Trump gets rid of this, like we didn't want him to, it will be back. They're really, and then so there's this big push, Woodman, to get Trump to do the nationwide shutdown, while we already have rogue states. So we know that there was rogue states with the illegals. Nobody cared. Trump talked about cutting federal funding off. People thought that was dangerous and he can't do that and how dare him. But here now we have governors searching people that are coming in from New York and Jersey, making sure if they're from New York that you go back home. We don't want you here. Your own citizens of the country can't move freely now because of this invisible virus. So what do you think the cheating factor could be, Woodman, if we allow them to play this card all the way up until, or maybe it comes back in October and, oh, you can't go out again. Vote from home. Just send it to your local trusted,
Cheating theory. Let's see. Yeah. If they get away with this, they're going to fix it to where they, going to beat Trump some way, even though they have some kind of a.
It's going to be overwhelming.
We can't let it happen. That's all there is to it. Trump's 15, 20 steps ahead of these guys anyway, people. He uses all that stuff to his advantage. If you think about everything they have thrown at him, and somehow he gets it all turned around, to where he can use it to his advantage. God bless him for that. And here again, too, he can get away with this because he's not a politician. Of course, he is now, but that's the only way he could have pulled all this stuff off. And that's the only way he could stay so far ahead, because if he was, involved in that little cesspool, they already know what he's going to do before he does it himself. So it's got to be done this way. He's so many steps ahead of these people. Hang on to your hats, people, because we're going to have a weird sailing coming up here real soon. I mean, well, it's happening now, but wild ride for sure. Keep the faith. That's all we got to say. Keep the faith. And like Mike and Ben and Greg and I always say all the time too, dig and search, because that's the only way you're going to find out for yourself. Every individual has their own mind, and so they look at things a little bit different. So, just because we may not come across exactly the way you want to hear it or whatever, you'll find somewhere that you can relate to and start building your own information network and really find out what's going on.
Yes. So I'm seeing some comments, Dr. Fucci or Fici, whatever. We believed him to be I do anyway, that, and then everyone's like, people think in a perfect administration that you shouldn't have anyone around that. This is just the way it is, folks. This is a cesspool. And then for optics, and then if Trump only had all the people stacked up there, like his family and all, it would be nothing but real chaotic. So they need to have the illusion of, yeah, he's a bad actor and he's there and he's talking. So, it doesn't make sense. I mean, what do you take of that, Ben? If Trump has some of these deep swamps still around him, why are they there and why are they talking? And then people try to put the connection together of like, well, damn, why is he? Yeah, try to
Us
explain that.
as military men, we know that every operation is fluid like water, and there are contingencies that you have to plan for. But everybody knows that when you go hit a mission out, there are some things that pop up, and you got to be moving like water, right? Like Bruce Lee said, it's like it could, So there was an operation. Okay, so you're in an operation. Trump's in there. He's doing his thing. His team's around him. We think Q, blah, 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 right? There are some unknowns that are popping up. There's people that even the supposed, Q team and everybody else they plan for. You got to know there's contingencies that come up that you don't plan for, that you try to, because every operation is always going to be one or two things. I've never heard of or seen or been a part of any operation that runs 100% perfect as planned before prior deployment, right? It never happens as planned. It always
Why
something
is
else
that?
goes a little bit different.
Moves
Well, you have these people
and
who are
counter
unknowns.
moves.
So they pop up, and as things happen, moves and counter moves.
Moves and
It
counter
also
moves, folks.
exposes your enemy.
Yes, it exposes. That's what we're seeing right now. Me and Ben were talking a little garage talk last night, today, before the show. Fluid pour. What do you think on the fact that, infiltration, even on the scale of our country? Like, we have a lot of companies that are from China. They are embedded over there. Isn't it cultural? I mean, I know like some of these big corporations act like under the guise of border movement back in the day, that they really cared about the people, the hungry woman and child, when really they just cared maybe about, employment, lower wages. That was more their benefit out of it. But they're not going to scream that to the American people, because they're going to play on the heartstrings more than the fact of their bottom dollar. Like, we need lower people and they're willing to work cheaper than you, and we can keep our wages down in the country. So basically you get Chinese or socialistic embedment into companies, and then you start getting that. So Trump had asked a reporter yesterday, my point of this was, he's like, what do you work for, the Chinese government, or who do you work for, the Chinese? I mean, why would he say that? And is there any truth behind it?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth. I think through things that I've found in the past, and being in the military, being in the IT part, where I was a helicopter mechanic. I had a security clearance. They had a position open in the CSS ammo, and forgive me, but it's IT. I can't remember exactly what that stood for, Systems Augmentation Management Office. But we had Lenovo Lenovo computers come in, and they were all built in China with spyware in them from China. So they were actually spying on the military through all of the computers that we had. So they were getting the secrets, they were getting, communications, they were getting classified material, they were getting all of it, and that was set up by none other than Hillary Clinton and the State Department.
Yeah,
that right
selling
there,
a special
that
access.
is one of those things.
That's SAP.
Yeah,
SAP
selling
access.
special access to these guys, and then they've got all of our moves. So this is all optics to me. He busted them. They're busted. They got everything. They know everything. So
It's
this
just,
is
how do you
all
get it to come
optics.
out? It's
You gotta release it slow. The people have to understand it first. They have to be able to see the proof second, and then they can see the punishments and the executions and all that stuff as it comes.
Well, it's kind of like
So
if
they gotta understand it.
Yeah, if you meet if a bad actor is in a dark subway tunnel meeting somebody else to get the briefcase, and you infiltrate that, and you're the one there, like a good person's there to meet that person, it's dark, you can't see, and then you turn the light on, and they're like, ugh, and you kind of caught them. And now maybe that person can be like, nah, the people up there will never believe you. And it's like, well, you're arguing that you busted them, but they're saying that they have so many safeguards set up that. So yeah, I agree. If you infiltrate, you could arrest you right now, turn them around, spin them, arrest them. The illusion hasn't been destroyed yet. Just the arrest happened of that one person possibly. So if it's on a scale of what we believe it to be, a big organized mob kind of working the world over, and then people are like, well, why have there been no arrests? Well, because the people that make the arrests are part of it too. Geesh. I mean, it's so deep. You can't. It's
You gotta dig them all out.
It's very.
You have to
very
dig them
wild.
all out.
And show it. And you want to wreck those institutions. I mean, you go back through some Q posts, it talks about the CIA, that it's uncleanable. There's no way to clean it. It's got to be destroyed.
Dismantled.
It's unconstitutional.
Yep. Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
not
Yes,
even
it is.
in line with the Constitution. I mean, we look at
That's
Mike and
that.
I. We've looked over into this, like how many of their actual agencies attached to our government. There's like 18 or 19, but there's only a few that's actually attached to the military side, which is actually part and falls under the government, not this hybrid ABC clown acronym agency that was created, and then it has attached it like a succubus. And we have a few of those that's attached themselves to our government, and they have come almost into a hybridization to where the one can't live without the other type thing. And when you say, how do you break this? We have our founding documents that describe everything that we're talking about right now. How to maintain government when there is a state of disorder, how to maintain order, where our rights come from when all man says you have no rights, to say, oh, they come from God. This is just a piece of paper that tells you that my rights come from God. I already know that, what I'm saying? Self-evident kind of stuff. So this is what they're trying to destroy, is that basic knowledge of there is no quarantine, people. You choose it to be a quarantine. Well, they closed my businesses down. Slap a sign that says private property, all are welcome.
Yeah, there's choices.
Not
That's
to
the whole thing.
public.
There's
There's choices,
you can get up
people.
and still drive to your job, but your owner has decided to shut down, and you're like, well, damn, that puts me. So one thing affects. We get that. It's a domino.
We understand, yes.
Different states have played into it more. Different governors. You're starting to see the rogue actors. We've been seeing this. Nobody wanted to point it out. This didn't start with the Corona Lyme. This started with even border stuff or illegals. Yes, we want states to have lots of control or be their own sovereign state, but we don't want rogue governors or mayors within those states working with China, cutting back deals, selling out the states, and then also because of all that stuff working and selling out, then we need you to let these illegals come in, and then they pitch for it under the guise of like, we're all humans, and then now they want to shut down states to let people from other states, well, because they got a virus. Well, hell, you make all of us, they try to get us all immunized and vaccinated, but yet The illegals act like there's no issue with them. Well, they're not getting it. Well, they could if they go down to the local office in our sanctuary city. We'll give them the shots. What, a lifetime of shots at 40 years old? They haven't had one yet. You guys are foolish. This has been happening all around the country, and now people are flipping out that states are still being rogue, and they're enforcing it on you. What, the illegal thing never affected you? It did if you looked at it because of jobs. Nobody wanted to hear that. No, they do jobs Americans don't want to do. Okay, there's
I'm
all
sure Americans
these.
want to do those jobs now.
You guys, this is what's baffled us. This is what's baffled us. Now Trump's letting them show themselves fully. I mean, they're creeping up the laws on their own, but they're keep pointing, Trump, you do it on a massive scale, so they can let back and be like, hey, it's out of my hands. Trump did this.
Right.
And without him doing it, they're having to keep the pressure on certain states. So it is what Ben just said there. It's not mandatory. Trump's like, hey, we didn't do a mandatory. We're not arresting, right? No, it's CDC recommendation. So
CDC
no martial law.
recommendation, not. Yeah, exactly.
So we got
I don't
Boris
trust the CDC.
Boris Johnson, which is the UK's. I think this is also another, real or not, but he's in ICU now. He's not doing well from this. This thing's taking him out. But we're going to probably, my guess is, with Trump's ramp up on the cure, that they're going to, the FDA approved that hydroxycone the stuff for malaria or whatever. They're going to give it to him. He's going to get better miraculously. And it's going to prove it's a high level, lot of eyes on this guy.
It's for malaria, so they know it's good for the public. It's a malaria thing that was
the media said it was no good. We can't do this.
It's been used for years, man. It's been used for years. It's already FDA approved.
Yeah.
So we'll see Boris Johnson take this.
Recover.
It'll show that it works. And then I guess it's going to go away, maybe, hopefully, for the summer. But the plan is for this to come back. They've already been telling us. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to these fools say that, it'll be back in the fall, right around election time. You guys are going to need to vote from home or drop-off boxes. So that's the narrative, folks. I don't like it. I hope this all stops right before or here in the next few. So Bush Foundation ships 2 million masks to China, by the way, despite increasing shortages right here. What does that say for you?
I thought China was getting better, and they're all done.
The world before this, yeah.
Well, Bush just wanted to get them over to China so then they can sell them back to the States, and he was going to get more from China.
Stuff they need to breathe in.
He was going to get more from China. It was just a business move, folks. Don't be upset.
Right.
Just making money out
it was just a little globalist move, So globalism, Bush Foundation ships 2 million masks to China despite increasing shortages in America.
Doesn't look like Aleister Crowley's daughter right there?
Yeah, well, that is Aleister Crowley's
daughter.
Gee.
Mr. Crowley.
Oh, yeah, that's who he married.
What did I have? So remember the Robert Kraft that just did the Patriots plane, Ben? We talked about that. The Patriot got the mask. It was Well, I came across an interesting drop on him. Remember, he had the whole the sex puppy thing. Didn't Robert Kraft get charged with connections to a pedophile ring?
Let's see here.
And human trafficking ring.
Human trafficking is even bigger. Yeah. Sex trafficking, pedophile, or human trafficking. Yeah. So I'm not, I'm curious. Did he already go away or something?
The Patriots.
Was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of soliciting prostitution from his involvement with the Jupiter Day Spa prostitution ring last January. Now being tried for felony charges that are being argued among lawyers for the state of Florida, according to the Sun Sentinel.
Howdy doody.
December 28th, 2019. Okay. Moving on. So we know that these things are happening, people. I mean, is that a fake news? Well, I can go look up, like we all can. We can go look up because it's public record. Remember, folks, we have Our rights is called due process. Even the criminals, even those who are treasonous and this kind of stuff, do have a process. And so any one of us can go on the public record and see who got divorced in what state and who got DUI and who got all this kind of stuff. So yes, do this. All right. Okay. That sounds on point. So it's like, if this is happening, he happened just to fly over there. I mean, it's
crazy, isn't it?
don't make dollars and it ain't making sense. That's for sure.
I'm looking for this.
I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. It's really not funny. But God,
this is here. I got it.
You got it.
This is USA Today, though. I don't know if I trust that, but
that's still it could be 3 parts lie, 1 part truth. We'll filter it out.
There's always lots of truth tucked into the lie.
Robert Kraft, right? Robert Kraft prostitution scandal exposes depth of modern slavery, sex trafficking industry. So it's a story that billionaire owner, 6-time champ of the Patriots, was charged Friday soliciting prostitution at the Orchids Asian Day spa in Jupiter, Florida. So it goes on, let's see. Oh man, gets into the specifics. I don't even want to know that crap. Like, the sex trafficking generates annual profits nearly $100 billion a year. So it just goes, it's the exposure of these people in high places that think they can do whatever the heck they want and not suffer the consequences. It's the 2-tiered system. It's just garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've done it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. It's an industry. It's an industry. That's a whole. This is amazing. So there you go, folks. 2 separate sources for you.
Yeah, that's how Trump's getting away with taking us down. He's not part of that system at all. They can't pull him in, just for so long.
Why?
So long.
That old Comey treat. I was going to be going over that in the 3rd series. Why? Or already didn't, actually, in the 2nd.
And corn.
All right. I'm still looking for this Robert Kraft one. If I remember, there was one that goes over it. So I'll keep digging here.
Keep on perusing in the back channel.
There's a lot to look at. All the different levels.
So you can see why you guys that we here in the panel are always hopeful that this is happening. Yes, do I want certain industries like the sports and things like that to shut down and forever? Yes, I do. But that's my own personal thing. Other people are highly against it. They want sports to come back. I like the schools shutting down. I like the fact that our director of education does not like the Common Core. That's in line with how I think. I've been complaining for years, but we all have our positions that we're in that that we have to abide by of sorts because we choose to. And so I see these things happening. How it's coming back up, I think that there's hope that if this is being exposed, even in the mainstream media. Yes, 2 parts lie, 2 parts truth, 3 parts lie, 1 part truth. You got to sift it all out. And as you can see, just between Greg and I, just pulling up just 2 real quick current articles. You pretty much, if you can ingest that information, it's an industry. That means it's not your local ring or a gang of people. Industry can be national. This particular one's international.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I'm not probably going to be able to find this.
Hence the reason for the wall.
Well, I mean, the wall is, I think, one of many pieces of the puzzle. I mean, I think that we have enough of a standing operational military that sometimes just, when a dog has a shock collar and there's an invisible shock fence and you train that dog, that fence is not to be crossed. And I'm not calling people dogs. I'm trying to use this as an idea of you let that dog know there's rules. There's unbreakable boundaries around here and there's consequences. And then you can take the collar off and the dog understands and it's like, oh, that's just Pavlovian, brainwashing. it's the same thing as an idea. Do I want to spend trillions of dollars on building a 100-foot wall, a 200-foot wall? At some point in time, the world will recognize our sovereignty, and like Trump said, is a respect versus they've been using them like a succubus, been just sucking our country dry. It's like, if you're a wimp on the schoolyard, the bully's going to cite you out, just like the lion takes out.
Oops, sorry.
Just like, like the lion takes out the weakest of the herd. And right now, there's a lot of weaklings in America. And, not enough of us are standing up for what's right. And other countries see that as weak. We need to go back to being alpha males here in America.
Yeah.
That's right. Snowflakes melt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Check this out, man. This is crazy. What are we looking at here, Mike?
John Solomon, the end is near. Mueller investigation, and there will be no. So we will make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. And then sex puppy, Super Bowl winners, puppy,
I remember that.
Sex Urban Dictionary. So Patriots owner Robert Kraft identified in human trafficking, prostitution ring. And yeah, we see, like you said here, we got the National, AP, Associated Press, CNN tweet up here talking about the New England Patriots owner. Several articles here. So no, it was interesting because the whole plane thing, and he did like a good thing. And this is a little older. These articles, I believe they're from 18 or 19, right? Early 19 or...
Yeah, they were. This was a while ago, you guys. And so when people
did he not go down yet? Did he go down and get out?
This was February 23rd of 2019.
You guys. This is what makes it crazy.
Yeah.
So
if he just flew on his private plane to China to get masks as a
was he on it, or did he direct the plane?
I know who knows. It was his name. Yeah, this is what we know. We can't sit here and definitively say that yes, he was flying the plane. His tail number was this. This has been reported. Like, I thought all planes can't go to, especially China, and this guy nonchalantly goes out there. If it's true, then that means those who allowed him, like the FAA, Air Traffic Control. How deep do you want to go? We can stay here all day naming different departments that are probably got some type of talons in them of some sort that are not governmental, or at least not ours.
I think they had caught this guy on the camera too.
And it's not only, I just found this New York Times article here, and it's about the same thing, but just so you know, there were many others involved. It wasn't just Robert Kraft. The sweep led to criminal charges last week against several rich, prominent men, including Robert Kraft, billionaire owner of the Patriots. We also hear John Havens, former president, CEO of Citigroup, John Childs, founder of the private equity firm J.W. Childs and Associates. So those are two other names that were involved at the same exact place at the same time. While investigating Kraft, they found those ones.
Okay.
Wow. So
there's a lot more to it. It's a big industry.
And like you said, we heard Robert Kraft might have been one of the bigger names, or he's the owner of something. So
we all know his name. He's the owner of the Patriots.
Right. So what about all these other guys? Or do we know that we get one person out of, we got a couple people out of Hollywood, the Harvey Weinstein and a few others, the lady Allison Mack. The whole spirit cooking.
Heidi Fleiss,
Nexium,
all that,
all of them.
leading up to that. Nexium, you're right. All that
you get some stuff out of D.C.
Senator out of New York, Gillibrand. Mm-hmm. She was involved in it. I mean, it's
so they
deep.
showed us
this is a
in bits. Like, here's a little of perverseness from Hollywood. Here's some from DC. Here's some
go dig.
Now everyone was mad. Me and Ben talked about one of the first orders of business Trump put in when he got in December 21st of 17 or December 23rd was the executive order on human trafficking violations and to take all the
and then seizing the assets.
Seizing assets. Why is that important? I mean, what do typically these people do, Ben? Don't they set things up in trusts and things like that to protect them for generations? I don't own anything. The trust own it all. I just kind of borrow
yes,
and
the
take,
trust is
drive that
set
car
on some
around.
other country.
I just spend some of the trust money every
taking
day
it all.
and
We're gonna
drive the
take it
cars
all.
around, but I own nothing.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
take
no,
it
this
all,
is
and then when we have to fly masks to another country, we'll use your plane to do so.
Yes.
well.
It's the least he
You
could
guys,
do.
yeah, we've all been under the spell. We've all been under the spell. Those who have or those who are handled by the elite know that you don't own nothing. Why? Because it's a corporation. So if you don't want to get your stuff in here, how many years ago did the Panama Papers documentary come out?
Ooh,
Oh,
good
it was
one.
a documentary where you move your money to this country, and then they put their assets offshore. So technically, you're not getting this. And even the common doctor and dentists were doing it for a few $100,000. There were also people like George Soros doing it for billions. So we see that this industry caters to even those who don't have enough money, like the billionaires and the trillionaires who actually do nefarious things, which we all know we won't go into today. But you understand that there are multiple levels, and if we're just showing you one or two in the mainstream and he's doing a good deed, you guys, no deed goes unpunished, good or bad. We know that. We know that exactly to be true. And if these people are other people, like Greg said in this other article, other people were indicted. You think billionaires hang out with millionaires? No, they hang out with other billionaires and want to hang out with trillionaires. That's how it goes. Millionaires don't hang out with people who only make a couple $100,000 a year. There's an echelon, and these people at the very top, these, the Great White Brotherhood is what they call it, according to Fritz Springmeier and a lot of other people. And these people want to literally destroy you as a person and your whole foundation of what God and who you are. It's insanity.
Yeah. I would say it's tough right now to stay grounded, folks. You've been doing all the research. Everything's kind of logical. You believe in a higher power that likes to manipulate things here on Earth. People that have power, have money, have gotten together and planned. It's not such a crazy theory. They own most of everything, and they're going to dictate how it goes down. It's not so hard to figure out. You can't lose all that in the midst of this crisis. You're like, no, all the lying they were doing is done right now. All the planning and manipulating, we are in a real thing. It's like, that's the most delusional thing to start thinking, that the media is telling you the truth now, because this is serious. This is serious stuff now, and they're not going to. No.
Don't let them spoon feed you, man.
Well,
Don't let
here's the
them
other
spoon feed
thing.
you.
People that are 100, I would say, if you haven't been in war zones, or fortunate, none of us are born in war zones, but I'm saying, like, you got to think of those people and how they must be thinking a little bit. Just put yourself in their shoes for a minute, and then put yourself over here. It's like, all right, life's been pretty good. You get up, you go to work. Most people here right now are very upset and very furious that sports are turned off, or they can't go to work. And now they're pissed and want to figure it out. I mean, I got all these people on my social media, personal, like Facebooks, that are heavily into sports, and I don't put them down. But how do I know that? Because that's all they used to talk about. There's people that are so into their, other just delusional, whatever the hell it is, and now they think they figured out everything that people like us haven't been able to figure out in a span of a week. They're on there like, I can't, people, I had this, he put 5G ain't going to kill nobody. If you think this isn't going to do nothing to nobody. I mean, they're naming off everything they've been seeing. And I know this guy that only knows sports, and he's down there at the end of it. Like, I can't go to work. This is starting to affect my life. Now he's angry. And I'm like, well, damn, welcome aboard. And in 1 week, you figured out everything. I guess guys with 20 years background looking into this, the people with intelligence clearances, they're all loony. You know it all in 1 week. And you've been laid off and not tuned into sports, and you got it figured out now. Tell us some more. That is very delusional. For people that are getting sports cut off and their jobs shut off, all of a sudden they're forced to be at home 9 hours out of the day looking on Facebook. That would be a waste of your time. You should be doing some good research. But if that's all you're going to do, yes, you're going to get annoyed because you're hearing things that you never even thought of, and it just seems so crazy to you. And all of a sudden you think they're crazy. It's a tough battle here, folks. to figure it out. Like we've said yesterday, history writes stuff down, but right now we can't seem to truly all come together and figure it out because it's designed that way. Have no doubt. Have no doubt. I mean, it's designed.
Don't let them spoon feed you. That's for sure.
Keep doing the research, folks. Don't come to.
Yeah,
We're at the 50-minute mark. It always seems to happen every time I look. So let's do our normal couple of comments here. Tomorrow, again, don't forget, folks, we're going to be having the live call-in, 1 whole hour. We'll try to go
Live
from
call.
10 to 11, like today. You know, somewhere around there. Ish. We'll always say 10.
yes.
Ish. Yeah.
This is Amish country.
There's about an hour or so
Amish
bumper
country.
after or before when we actually get together. Because you know what? A lot of us are at home enjoying our families. We're not
We
doing
have
the
a life.
Heck yeah, we are.
We have a life,
This is
man.
stuff. There's almost 1,000 people in here. I just want to say it one more time just to wrap it up. Grilling, if you're in the room, hop up all that Patriot Fest information. This August 14th and 15th. I know we're going to be down there. We're going to be jamming out. We're going to be having lots of fun, special guests. We're still planning on having this great get-together and flag retirement. So I suggest you guys come out because it's going to be a lot of fun because remember, flu season gets over here in just a little bit. We roll into allergy, sniffles, little pressure. You work it out, sun shines, then the summer hits. You do some fishing, do some grilling out. You don't really get sick in the summer. It's kind of a rare thing unless you are already, sick to begin with because you haven't taken care of yourself. Try to change that.
All right, hold on here. We're going to pull this up.
Loving it. Loving it.
Let's do our, hey, give us a shout out. Tell us where you're from, where you're checking in at. We'll do our best to all scream out.
Texas is coming
Thank
to
you
the
to all the
Patriot
mods.
Fest. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Colorado militia.
Colorado.
Yeah.
We love this channel.
Himself, yo. Loving
Hey,
San
China.
Fran,
Bay Area. Michigan.
Phoenix,
Amsterdam.
Kansas City,
All right.
Missouri,
Amsterdam.
Washington.
Smoke one for
Across
us.
the pond.
Ohio.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Northeast Ohio, Alabama,
South
Jersey.
Kakalaki.
Italy,
Central. Cent Florida. West
Hudson
Tennessee.
Valley, New York,
Nashville.
the Show Me
Phoenix.
State,
Florida. Kentucky.
Look at
Missouri.
this.
Detroit. Key Largo.
Detroit.
Key Largo. Key
man.
Largo. Montego.
That Canuck in the
Baby,
house.
why don't we go?
All right.
That's why you're a talk show host,
Yeah.
Mike, not a singer.
Illinois. Switzerland. What's up? How you doing from way over yonder? Central Michigan, Kentucky. South Kakalaki,
MISSIPPI.
Lawrenceville, Georgia,
Tucson,
California.
Arizona. Great place.
Pensy.
Pennsylvania.
Tex.
Florida.
Flint, Michigan. Flint, Mich. Ohio.
Dallas.
On Earth. Planet Earth. Checking in.
There you
UK.
go.
Ground Zero.
Hannon, Ontario, Canada,
Barbados.
Arkansas, Barbados. Hey, Barbados.
Oklahoma.
Barbados.
Ventura, Cali.
Ventura,
Pennsylvania.
California. Yeah, good one, Mike.
Gitmo. They're checking in from Gitmo.
Massive.
We're going to get
I'm
some
in
Mo.
Massachusetts, but definitely not proud of it.
Steve
Oh,
Hollins
boy.
is from Mars. Have another smoke, my brother. You ain't in Mars.
Don't worry, freedom's on its way.
Mhm.
Smoke some and fell off.
South
Earth.
Haro, Vermont,
Texas.
Scotland. Hey,
Under the firmament.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ohio loves the Patriot Hour. Oh
I
no,
love
kitty.
my
No,
Scottish
no, no.
brothers and sisters.
Gitmo rocks. Gitmo rocks.
Someone's a Flint boy too. Arizona. A lot of people
Fort
from
Hood.
Michigan. Freedom
Fort Hood,
Soon.
Texas. What's up? I served there. Colleen.
What's
Saudi.
up?
Saudi Arabia. Been there. Been to Jabal Ali.
Somebody says Planet Woodman.
Planet Wood.
All right.
Planet Woodman.
There
Nice.
you go, Stephen.
I
All
like
right.
that.
What up, military?
All up
Say
in
hi
your
from the
beard.
Philippines. Aviation safety. What is up, brother or sister? Military badge.
Red in California.
California.
Wiley,
South
Texas.
Carolina.
South Kakalak. Portugal.
Independence, Missouri.
Been there. Connecticut.
Little bit of Portugal. What's up?
Man.
Oh,
Hola,
well.
¿qué pasa?
earthquakes.
Talamanzu.
Quakes or what?
Hillary's
There's earthquakes
server
every day, brother. When the
checking
volcanoes
in.
go off in the ring of fire. Dark side of the
Red
moon.
Gaming.
You need to stop watching all that transformer propaganda. There's no such thing as the light, my
Ooh,
brother. It's the
aviation
lesser light.
safety.
Philippines.
Yep, military
Yes.
veteran over in the
Killeen,
Philippines,
Texas.
We said, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, we called you
Killeen,
out. We
Tex.
got you.
California,
All right,
Livonia,
fantastic.
New York.
USA, USA,
Livonia,
USA.
New York.
Oh, Diego Garcia.
Diego
Texas
Garcia,
lives,
Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Hour set.
You guys are awesome, man.
See that
This
one?
is, you
Boom.
see how many Patriots we have, you guys, from not just here in the great United States of America, but all across the pond.
Across the
We got
pond,
people
yeah,
from Scotland,
fantastic.
Ireland, the United Kingdom. I mean, we got people from all over. Yesterday, we were people from New Zealand. I mean, you know, this message is spreading, and when you don't deviate, which nobody here you see today has deviated from the last 3 years and a couple of years with Greg and just meeting everybody.
That's because
We've
you're
all
unwilling
said
to
the
learn,
same
Ben.
thing. You know?
See, no, it's
And the
because
same
we've
thing
been
over
pretty
and over
solid.
again. We haven't
We came into this with a great amount of. Honestly, I didn't want to start the channel until I was pretty dead set, and it's not that we haven't changed or it was his uncle's cousin's brother's sister that did that finger push. We get that we're probably the connections and stuff, but hey. The eddies, what are the eddies? We don't want to swim too long. You want to keep pushing forward at all costs, and you can, I take the Hollywood angle of the bad actors and how they throw out a little symbol on stage. I get all that. I don't need to know every single actor in every single movie that does it day after day, because I understand the concept.
That's just one small faction of the overall operation.
Yes.
And
One arm of the
we
spaghetti.
keep
I
on thinking the
imagine-
same
I am-
thing. Yep.
I imagine the sports aren't going on right now because there's a few athletes that are in a little trouble.
You think?
Just a few.
Like the quarterback from this team, the coach from this team, yeah.
It goes
puts
deep.
a hamper.
It goes
in
real
things.
deep. Yeah. It goes
a little
real deep.
hamper.
Well,
Well,
Hollywood's
look at
really
the,
good about
there's
making
the-
movies.
Before we go, you guys, as kind of interesting that the whole Olympics has been canceled and stuff like that, right? Somebody in the chat there just said, look at post 725, and I thought it was kind of interesting. It had talked about North and South Korea together at Olympics, and it just had a couple of. It says North Korea. It's just interesting. Let's play hunt the spook. Ask yourself, this kind of stuff. I just think it was kind of interesting. Post 725. Just another fellow person that said, hey, check this out. This is interesting. I found this today. And we thought, hey, that's kind of interesting. So before we leave today, we're going to give you guys a little bit of breadcrumb to go do your research on. And next time you see us, you could maybe look at this, look at some information. Is this interesting? Does this lead anywhere? Probably, something. I don't know. This is why we're just taking a look at it before we take off and say, is this interesting? We've been wrapping up, the whole China thing, and this is going over, and I thought this was interesting. They put it up, so here you go, you guys. I know something to do with the Olympics being canceled.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I just love the whole F Trump opening to the Olympics last night. So that's a little bit Michael
I don't know if
Moore.
it's what's already happened, that kind of stuff. That was just kind of interesting to see. Is it coming back around? The Tokyo 2020 Olympics has been postponed over the Corona and Lyme disease virus. That was by the ABC News, March 24th, 2020. On a side note, the 1940 Summer Olympics, which were also to be held in Tokyo, were also canceled. I think that whole thing, just on the side, it was a little land grabble for a country to build up its resources and present itself as a Olympic city, and then to be canceled, and a bunch of people come in there and buy up all the little new property and land that just got re-innovated by the city taxpayer and all the money. So I think that's a little land grab going on. So just interesting little something. This is kind of what we do. We put it out there, and we four kind of munch on it for the day, and throughout the day we'll text back and like, have you see this? Did you see that? Oh, this is crazy. So I'm giving you guys a little chance to be sleuths and go do some old sleuthing on yourself. Be a gumshoe. Do some research.
Gumshoe.
All right, folks.
Yeah, love all you guys, man. God bless.
We're going to shut this one down.
Yeah, man.
We got a little testing to do here, and then look for tomorrow, fellas. Yeah, we'll do our little test. You guys look for tomorrow's live show call-in, 1 full hour. Patriots.
All right.
That'd be great.
Run it. Patriots topic. Choice of topic. We do it for you guys.
Time to get your word out.
Great panel today. Thank you guys for being here. We always love the Patriots being here. We do it for you, for country. Again, where we go one, we go all. God bless. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update. God bless.